Hey everybody, how's it going? I've got an iPhone 13 Pro here that I would really like to share my experience with you, and I hope that you all don't hate me too bad because I've already done much of this job, but I really need to show you what it is that I've got going on here. First of all, this is what this phone looked like whenever it very first came in, whenever it was all completely assembled. Now, this is a phone that's been ran over by a car, probably multiple cars. I believe this customer was out jogging and for whatever reason lost the phone and it wound up in the road like they always do. So as you can see, I'm just having a completely normal day here at the STS workbench. This is what an iPhone 13 Pro looks like after it's been ran over by, well, what looks to be a semi-truck or maybe a train or something. That's what the housing looks like now that I've got it all disassembled. Here's the screen assembly. This just looks lovely. There's almost not a single part of this phone that has survived, except for this, apparently. Look at how twisted that board is. It's actually bent right across one of the most critical areas for me. There's the bottom board, and here's the top board. It's actually got a bow right across the CPU area, which is just awful. So looking at this a little bit closer, you can see that somebody else has already worked on it because the screw hole had been long screw damaged. I don't know when exactly that happened. Maybe it happened before it got ran over by rush hour traffic. And the screw hole, of course, was just dangling by a thread, and the other screw hole had actually already been ripped off of here. Now, this phone was completely assembled. It had the brackets in it. It had, all the screws in it where it was supposed to be, but the screw holes were actually still attached to the bracket where they had just been ripped off by force. And everything inside of this phone is just completely mangled. So very often whenever I run into this, these things wind up having cracked RAM, they wind up having cracked CPUs. Let me show you what it is that I have found on this one here. I spent a good deal of time tracking down shorts, assuming that this thing is going to need a full board swap. I mean, it just had shorts everywhere. There was at least 5 different shorted capacitors. So first of all, I had shorts that were before boot prompt that were on, main power lines. But then also, once I got some of those resolved, we had thermal imaging just blasting off all over the place on this board. You can see I wound up breaking a capacitor off here that was shorted. I broke a capacitor off right here that was shorted. There was another capacitor right here that was shorted. Right here that was shorted. Here that was shorted. Here that was shorted. And this just kept going and going and going. I would take one off, prompt it to boot, high current. Take another one off, prompt it to boot, high current. Well, at some point, after I removed what I thought was going to be the last short, I would prompt it to boot and I would just get a low current reading. Like the CPU was not powering on. We were just very, very little current and the CPU was not powering on. So I actually sat here and prepared a brand spanking new iPhone 13 donor board to do a swap over to, because on this model, Apple's actually made it pretty easy because there's not a bunch of stuff around the CPU. You can just get right in there and swap the chips over. So here I was, right at the very last minute. I've got the donor board prepped up. I've got the customer's board ready to go under the knife and pull their vital chips off of it. And I just started right here. You can see right along NAND where I just started to put my blade in. And of course, this is after the board sat for a good long while I waited for a donor board, prepped the donor board. And I just started to put my blade in right here, and I was going, holy crap, look at the cracks in the underfill. I mean, can you see that? Right here, this is like, it has like the Grand Canyon going on right here in the epoxy next to NAND, which means this thing is seriously bent. But nevertheless, I thought, wait a minute. Let's try one more time to see if this board will power on. So I hooked it up to the DC power supply, and lo and behold, there was another short, another broken capacitor. So I removed not just one, but 2 more capacitors from this board, and I'm now left with a completely almost completely normal boot sequence. So what I'm getting ready to do right now is plug a screen, dock flex, and front flex cable into this thing and see if we can just get one boot out of it. And if I can, I'm gonna snag me a backup off of this thing and we are done. I don't actually have to do a full CPU swap on this, and I'll keep my donor board for the next one. Now, if this doesn't work out and I can't just snag me a backup off of it, then the next step on this is gonna be to go ahead and swap the vital chips over. Here we go. I have this thing all rigged up and ready to create a backup. I have a front-facing flex cable connected. I have us a dock flex connected. This is a battery that I know is charged above 4 volts and has working battery data, so we are good to go with power. And now I'm going to connect a screen and see what happens. There we go, screen is connected. Battery is connected. Come on, baby. And now we're going to connect a charger, and 1, 2, 3. Actually, it's not a charger, it's connected back to a computer, ready for a backup. Connect. We have Apple logo. We have Apple logo. So, is it going to stay up long enough to create a backup? Is it going to restart every 3 minutes? There are literally like 1,100 different things that have to stay connected in order to get a backup. All right, we have working touch. I just remembered this is a customer who wanted to wait to supply the passcode. This thing is literally dangling by threads, and I'm gonna have to wait for the passcode. Alrighty then, I am super glad to say that I have gotten the passcode for this phone, and it did in fact stay up long enough for me to create a backup. In fact, it is, amazingly enough, it is still up now. With the behavior of this thing having been through so many different shorts, many of which that I was very concerned were going to be cracked RAM or a cracked CPU, combined with having a low current situation and back to having a short situation, there has to be at least a dozen different things that are just dangling by a thread that are keeping this thing alive. So I'm really glad to say that I have gotten the data from this phone, and this is going to be a happy customer. I'm really sorry that I didn't do like a linear repair video on this one, but I will make it up to you in the future. And that's going to be the end of this video. I really thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon. Have a good day, everybody. There we go. Pack up that screen nice and safe. That is the cheapest iPhone 13 screen money can buy. Confession. This is the customer's battery, and it still worked after being ran over by 137 cars. Woo! Now, I always try to put phones back together to where they were whenever they very first came in. That's actually going to be somewhat challenging with this one. So my thought process here is that many of the phones that go out of here, they're going to go back as an insurance claim, which insurance claims, they can literally be smashed with a sledgehammer or, for instance, ran over by 157 cars. But I don't like for them to go back if they're missing major pieces. So I am putting the shield back on it, and I am going to reassemble the phone with everything put back in it the way that it was whenever it first got smashed by rush hour traffic. I'm not going to be putting that board back together though. I'm going to just kind of let it hang in the housing. And the battery, although I probably will include this, it's not, it doesn't have any punctures or anything. There's no way that I'm going to put this back in this housing with a full charge. I'm going to totally deplete this battery flat dead before I send it back. Again, this is likely going back as an insurance claim, and I don't want whoever it's getting sent back to get a phone that they think has been gutted and is missing a bunch of parts. So how, you wonder, am I going to be sure that battery is completely flat dead? Well, like this, of course. Right around here, right on up. And I'm going to leave that sucker drain until it is absolutely, positively, completely flat dead. Nighty-night, little battery. No chance of you burning if you're completely dead. So there we go. I got this thing fully reassembled, and it's just like nothing ever happened. Well, Nothing except for the time that it got ran over by a herd of elephants. I'm really not sure why I bothered putting all the screws back in this one. It's going to be fine. It's pretty much just like brand new. Let's try to keep any more of this glass from getting into the shop, shall we? Oh man, that was a bad one.